The opinions in this podcast are all our own.
But the businesses are real chamber members.
It's a chamber chat.
Coming to you from Wahoo, Nebraska. Chamber Chat with Kate
And Kat.
Welcome to Chamber Chat with Kate
and Kat. I'm Catherine Nygren.
And I'm Kate DeCoste. This podcast is everything Wahoo Chamber of Commerce.
Well, Kate, it's going to be that time of year again.
It really is.
Summer.
And it's almost, I'll have to look it up, but I think it might be very close to our podcast anniversary.
Ooh, it might be our podcast anniversary.
I think so. Yes. I think so.
We should celebrate this podcast anniversary.
I know. I think we started it in June.
It was in June because I know I went with Teresa to that conference in Valentine, and we had just published our first Fireworks and a Goose.
Fireworks and a Goose.
Fireworks and a Goose was our first episode. And we had just posted it like on Thursday.
Probably, yeah.
And then Teresa and I went up to Valentine to that conference, and I saw a friend from college that works for the Chamber in Albion, and she comes up to me and she's like, "Fireworks and a Goose?" And I was like, "You listened." So thanks, Maggie Smith, for being one of our first listeners.
Yes. Oh, that's funny. So yeah, I'll have to look up when our first one was. We should do a little celebration.
We should.
A little toast to our first year, a whole year
under our belts.
Yes.
Who knew?
Yes. And you said about Thursday. We usually do have this come out on Thursday. This week it is going to be a day late. Our schedule has just been, it's been Mother's Day. And graduations and
dance recitals.
People now are like wanting photos. They're like fresh and springy and want photos.
Living out in the sunshine.
Yeah. So we figured it would be better to just have it out a day late than not do it at all. So
here
we are.
We haven't forgotten about you guys.
No.
So what we got on the horizon for chamber events?
We have a lot of stuff. We just had a chamber board meeting yesterday.
That's right. Your first one as president. Congratulations.
Yeah. Oh, thank you. I had to show Jen your text. I was like, because your text came up and it was just still on my like home screen, and I was talking to someone, and I walked over and I saw it, and Jen and I were sitting next to each other, and I like went like this with my phone to show it to her, and she was like, "Oh," and then she was like, "I meant to bring you a bell." Like they have these bells now,
really?
Like ding ding ding, like bells, and they have like smiley faces on them. And she's like, and I was all like, I think I need that bell
instead of a gavel.
You
ring the bell.
Ring a bell.
Okay.
But she forgot the bell, so I didn't ring a bell, which was totally fine. But yeah, it was pretty fun. But she was like, "Oh, that's so cute."
Yes.
That you congratulated me, and I think I did okay. I'm not very good, and I actually, after the meeting, wrote myself a cheat sheet because my brain kind of goes totally blank when we're gonna vote for something. I mean, I've sat there and I've been in board meetings and listened to how it all motion and the yay and the nay and all that, and I'm all like, what do I say? Like when all of a sudden when it's you that has to like initiate it, I like kind of just went blank. Like Teresa had to be like, "Oh, we need to vote for that."
Right, call for a vote.
And then I was like, "Oh yeah," and then I did spew a few things out, but I don't think I did everything. It was not good.
It was not like proper parliamentary procedure.
No. And so I'm gonna have a cheat sheet on my little folder so that
that's smart.
I can just glance at it and just not be like, because I kind of like froze. Like I was like, "Oh, that's me."
Right. I'm not voting. I'm calling for the vote.
Right.
Madam President.
Right. Yeah. So I feel like that was the only hiccup that I had as president.
Nice.
But yeah, we talked a lot about different things like we're going to restart the cheer basket.
Oh yeah.
That had like a little halt I think at the beginning of this year, and the office just kind of had it, like went and got it, but we're going to just basically send it back out in the wild. And I think it was fun to read the book. So we have that little like area where you can write comments. And that was super fun to read. And I was like, okay, well, people are loving this. We should just throw it out there again. And we just have to be better at keeping track of where it goes,
keeping the bouncing ball moving. Well, and should we even remind people what the chamber cheer basket was?
Yes,
when it
and
came out?
you should tell, because it was your brainchild.
Well, I saw it on on Instagram. You follow like different people that you know in your industry, and there's a florist in Rapid City, South Dakota,
right?
And they had a downtown cheer basket,
yes.
and they were filling it and sending it off into the world. And I was like, oh, that's really fun, just to have a little rotating basket of goodies, that people can take out and refill and send it on down the road. Because you get into an age where you don't get a lot of things, you know what I mean? Unless you order it yourself, you don't get a lot of deliveries to your door, people showing up,
And that it's a surprise.
It's a surprise. Yeah. So we made this little basket, filled it up with goodies. Paul Sutton from Saunders County Chiropractic kicked it off.
He's kicked it off.
Filled it up with goodies. And then we had a little journal in there that you could kind of write like little compliments to, the person that you're sending it to, who you admire, a business person in town.
Yeah.
And so it's kind of little warm fuzzies coming to you in a little basket.
Yes. So I'm excited to see where it goes and to read the, if it comes back around to the chamber at the end of the year to see, or I might just keep going, but if I get it or something, I'm excited to just read the little. That's fun.
I love that.
Yeah.
Well, whenever we saw it posted on, we encourage people to post about it on their social media, and so whenever we saw it when it was going around, we tried to share that so everybody could kind of follow along where the bouncing basket was.
Yes.
headed to. So we'll definitely watch for that and share it out.
Yes. So another, this is something that's going to be a little bit newer, but we are going to launch a chamber coffee club. Where it's a different time of day. We have our Chamber Connections, which is a noon lunch and learn every other month. We also have where businesses will host after hours. We just had one last night at
Saunders County Lost Pets.
Yes. So those are fun, but this will be a whole different time of day. It was funny when we were talking about, well, what day, what time should we do it? We decided on 9:30 to 10:30, and it's going to be the second Wednesday of the month.
Okay.
So our first one is going to be June 12th.
Oh, okay.
And we haven't secured a topic yet, but we're thinking of having a starter, just a conversation starter.
Right.
And just maybe something that's happening. Like we talked about, maybe we'll see if they are able to do it, but see if we can have someone come and just talk about what's going to be going on for the events for 4th of July.
Oh, yeah.
Because since our first one will be in June, and that'll be kind of our first thing to come up. But we can also see, is there something going on that the city would want to come have a rep there to share information.
Yeah.
And it doesn't have to be a lunch and learn, like how we, it doesn't where we're just sitting there listening.
Heavy information.
Right. But it just gives a little oh, yeah, I'd like to learn about that. And then if you have other things, I feel like the conversation will spiral into other things. And it's something that it's from 9:30 to 10:30, but you don't have to be there from 9:30 to 10:30.
Right, you can pop in.
Yes, if you can be there for 10 minutes or whatever, that's fine. And and if you can't get there until 10:15, that's fine too.
Come on down.
Yeah, just know that we'll be there from 9:30 to 10:30.
Okay.
We haven't decided yet on a location. It kind of just depends on our topic. So we'll just watch our social media for that and our website, and I'm sure we'll talk about it again.
Nice. I love that idea, because I know, myself, if I go to work and go home and I'm in the shop all day, I don't get out and see people. It's not until I go to a chamber event, like a Connections, where I'm like, oh, hey there, Amy Stork from the bank.
Right.
I never get to see you because she's at work, I'm at work.
Right.
To be able just to say hello and do a little small talk. How's life?
Right. Yeah.
On your end of downtown.
Yes. Right.
So I think that'll be a great opportunity to have a little time to hear some news about what's going on and be in the know and say hi to some friends.
Yeah. So we thought we'd try that out, and
I love that.
See what happens, and if it doesn't work, where it's it's not it's not well attended.
Right.
We were like, there's no harm, there's no foul of trying.
There's
it.
not an investment of money to get it started. It's just a great idea.
Yeah.
I love that.
So I think that will be fun. Another thing that I think people will maybe enjoy, we're going to start having more of a streamlined email type thing. It's going to be almost like, we're calling it a Wahoo Weekly.
Ooh, Wahoo Weekly.
Yes.
I love that.
And basically, it's all those emails that we get from the office. Say if Chips is having a special and they want to put it out there. Jen, you will usually, it'll just be that email. It'll just be about Chips. And you might get it on a Tuesday. You might get it on a Friday, like depending.
As she gets the information and gets asked to send it out, that's kind of when it would go out.
Go out, right. Where now you're going to give your information like the Wednesday before it needs to go. And then the Wahoo Weekly will come out on Monday. So you'll want
that.
Yeah. And then it's going to have all the information for the week. So if you are running a special, if you're having an event, whatever, you will want to get that to Jen the week before, and then it'll be out on Monday. So then as a person that's reading it can see everything that's happening that week through the weekend.
That's such a great idea.
Yeah.
And it's all in one spot. So Monday morning, you start the week fresh. You pop up in this email from Jen, and you're like, okay, I'm going to jot these few things on my calendar because it's like, ooh, that lunch special sounds really great. Or I want to go see the speaker or attend the special event this business is having. So I think that's a great idea.
And I'm terrible sometimes if I might look at something on my phone and I'm like, ooh, that's fun. And I need to like get it on my calendar.
Right.
Well, it'll be easier for me to find that if I type in Wahoo Chamber into my email and I'll be like, oh, there's this week's weekly.
One stop.
Yeah.
Shot of information.
Yeah. Yes.
What's up, shop? But yet make it for information.
Right.
Nice. So that'll be something to look forward to. But they have to be in the Wednesday before, so she has time to compile it. So a little bit more planning on our part to get it to her, but definitely benefits in the end to have all of the happenings in one spot.
Yes.
Nice.
Yeah. So I'm excited for the Wahoo Weekly.
Wahoo Weekly. I'll look for it.
Well, do you have should we do a poll question today or a fun fact? We could do both. Yeah. What should we start with?
Ooh, let's do a poll question.
Okay.
So I'm thinking about the holiday coming up. All of a sudden, I don't know where May went, but Memorial Day is right around the corner.
Right.
So for poll question, what do you like to do on Memorial Day weekend? Like, what is your Memorial Day traditions?
Sure. Oh, that's a good one. And that isn't like do you do this or this?
Yeah,
like people have so many.
We'll be at this or that.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I just feel like any event or any like holiday always revolves around food.
Oh, yeah.
And I feel like this is the first time that you're really doing like a outdoor grilling and that picnic style food. So I do enjoy a little bit of that.
Love it.
We do usually, head out to Sunrise Cemetery in the morning on Monday for their ceremony. And then I just kind of like just to chill.
Yeah.
Like I don't really
Don't pack it full of activities and running and
no. Sometime I've already done, not here at the studio, but at the house, I've done like flowers and things like that.
Oh, done some planting.
Yeah. I did that on like Mother's Day weekend.
Yep. That's a great time to start.
Yeah. And we did that out at the cemetery as well. Like did the planting of flowers there. But sometimes you might not get to it and it depends on the weather.
Right.
If you can plant.
Right. If it's rainy or
or
we've got a ton of rain.
Chill or So I'm kind of excited that that's already like
sweet. Check it off the list.
Yeah. I just need to do my pot here.
Yeah.
We've talked about my fake flowers. Bring April flowers.
Yep.
And now I need to pull out the fake and put in the real. And what was cracked me up is we went and we bought flowers the other day, and then I was like, oh crap, I didn't get the ones for the studio. I was like, oh well, it'll happen.
You'll get it done.
What about you? What do you like to do on Memorial?
I like
weekend?
to go out. I go usually out to mom and dad's house out on the farm, Valley County, west of Ord.
Sure.
And then we kind of go around. We all hop in a van together, the kids, mom and dad, and we go to like all the relative cemeteries. Like,
okay,
there's kind of a route we go. There's like a cemetery in Burwell that I've got some grandparents in. There's this little, it's a church that's closed. It's like a little St. Wenceslas. Actually, out in the country. It was like the church that I grew up in.
Gotcha.
But they didn't have like running water. It had like outhouses for the bathrooms.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And like in 1993 it closed, but the cemetery is still there.
Oh, sure.
And it's kind of like a cool old cemetery. I've got both sides of my family on it.
Sure.
All the neighborhood still helps mow it. So it's always kind of a fun,
nice.
Go around. The year of COVID, we actually packed a picnic and sat and ate out there so we could kind of socially distance and still do our Memorial Day traditions.
Sure.
Yeah.
Is the church, is the building still there?
Yep, the building's still there. Yeah, the building was sold to a parishioner, and so they kind of do the upkeep on it.
Gotcha.
But they don't ever have any events in
there.
Yeah.
But it's there.
Yeah,
which is kind of nice.
It's there, and it's the outhouses are kind of falling down.
Oh, I'm sure.
But it's kind of a cool cemetery. Like the graves they don't face east. Most cemeteries, the graves face east to the rising sun. These face like north-south.
Oh,
and so,
interesting.
Yeah, and I love, my dad loves history, and so we talk about the stories of all the different, people in the cemetery and some of the crazier stories or, the ones from back in the day. So,
sure.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah. So
that's funny.
we like to go around and do some cemetery hopping and find those, little old random ones. There's an abandoned one that you can't even tell from the road that we went to one time.
Oh,
and,
wow.
Yeah. Crawled through the poison ivy to find this.
It's abandoned?
Yeah. It's
and there's people still buried there?
Yeah. Some of them they dug up.
Oh.
This was, you would never even know this was a cemetery from the road. Like if my dad didn't take me to there, I would not know because there was trees and a fence line and
Okay.
Yeah, but it's a little. But it was supposedly my grandma. Her mom had a miscarriage and they buried that baby in that cemetery.
Okay.
But there was no, I'm sure it was probably in a shoebox. You know what I mean? It wasn't like the record keeping that they have now.
Right.
It's just kind of family lore at this point. And so, yeah. And there's a few toppled headstones. It's kind of eerie, actually.
That is a little eerie.
But you have to know where you're going to
know
it.
That it's there.
Yes.
Interesting.
So yeah, we like to.
And I would like to know why it got abandoned.
Yeah, I don't know if there just wasn't enough burials there, and it kind of just fell into disrepair, and then so people weren't.
And if the
adding
people passed, the people that had family members there, passed. But then I'm didn't they get buried there? You know what I mean?
Right.
I have so many questions.
I know. So it's interesting. So I find that kind of thing interesting.
I do too. Yeah.
So yeah,
I love that you go to different cemeteries and the history, and your kids are gonna grow up learning that.
Yeah, I'm hoping that they kind of absorb a little bit of that.
Yes,
they might not remember a lot from grandma, great grandma, and great grandpa, and stuff. But yeah, to have the stories passed down. Once I'm gone.
Right.
Right. So yeah.
Oh,
so
I like it.
A little road trip around cemeteries is usually what
what you do.
Yep. That's our tradition.
Well, everybody, you should let us know what your traditions are, and you can we'll put this as our question on the podcast. So I don't know if you can do it on all platforms, but for sure if you're listening to us on Spotify, there's a poll and there is a question on there, and I can make this the question so that you're able to type, it's not we're clicking a button for yes, no on the poll.
So there's a text box to write.
Yeah.
Tell us about it.
Tell us about it. So I'll put that as the question and
nice.
Tell us because I would love to hear because I never knew that about you. So I love that.
Yeah.
Tell us your
traditions.
It's
always fun to hear what people are up to.
Yeah, it is. It is. So as far as a fun fact, even though that seemed like a fun fact to me,
right?
We're gonna stick with cemeteries, correct?
Yeah. I don't know if people know this. We've used this tool a lot at the flower shop because we have people that call that are from out of town that want to place things on grave sites here in Wahoo. And so I don't know if our listeners know, but you can go on the city website for a listing of graves and a map. So if you're looking for somebody, if you're trying to track down a relative,
right,
you can go, and it's alphabetized.
Okay.
And it's by cemetery. So, in Wahoo, we've got the 2 different cemetery sites. We've got Greenwood, which is up by Region 5.
Right,
and then we have Sunrise, which is out on 1st Street, past on the way out of town.
Right.
There. And then Sunrise actually has 2 cemeteries in it. There's the Catholic part, the St. Francis. So when you're looking at the map, it'll say, and actually Sunrise is called Knights of Honor.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah,
I remember we talked about that in a past episode.
Yeah. And then St. Francis is this kind of the cemetery within Sunrise.
Okay.
But yeah, you can find anybody that's buried by looking up on this. It's like a alphabetized listing, and so you can do Control F to find it really quick, and it'll pop up, and then it'll have like the lot and the space and the plot number, and then you can like print off a map. Sunrise, and then you can follow the lot, space, plot,
And does it seem pretty? If you're you guys, you seem to. It works well.
Yeah.
Like, is it easy to read?
I actually like kind of like the challenge of finding people out in the cemetery.
Sure.
It's one that we haven't been to. So yeah.
Oh yeah.
I actually really enjoy it.
Enjoy doing it.
Yeah.
Well, nice.
Yeah.
And you can find that on the Wahoo City.
Yep. It's the City of Wahoo website. And then there's a section called cemeteries.
Okay.
And then the links are in there for the listing and the maps.
Well, fun.
So, yeah. If you're out looking for people on Memorial Day.
Right. And you're not sure where they are.
Right. Go check it out.
Nice.
So yeah, that's my fun fact.
Well, thank you. I enjoyed that.
Not a problem. Well, do you want to share with us some upcoming events that we've got for Chamber?
Sure. So we have coming up today at 1:00 will be a ribbon cutting, and it's Astro Buildings, and that is out by. It's more close to Mead.
It's out by Mead, isn't it?
Yeah. So I believe when you're on 92 headed like towards Mead, instead of turning left at that intersection, like that Fremont intersection, you'll turn to the right.
Oh, okay.
And it should be
right there.
Right there. So I'm hoping that's kind of because that's how I'm getting there. So hopefully that's how. So we're having that at 1:00.
Okay, nice.
Today, and then next week, Beauty View Farms is going to be holding a ribbon cutting. It's on May 30th.
Is it business after hours? Or is it a ribbon cutting?
It's both.
Oh,
it's like a double. So the ribbon
Oh.
cutting is at 4:30.
4:30, okay.
And then officially the after hours starts at 5. But basically after the ribbon cutting,
Right.
the after hours will start. And I believe that is going to be until 7 as well. So I think that'll be a fun come out, have some ice cream.
I was just saying, is there ice cream included?
Yeah, I believe so.
Nice.
So I think that will be fun. Also, an open house on June 1st to recognize Dairy Month.
Oh, Dairy Month?
Yes,
Nice.
yes. So I figured might as well put that in there since we're talking about
Beauty
them.
View.
Yeah.
Well, and those people that don't know, they've got the on-farm store too that's open.
Yes.
So they've got kind of a self-serve store.
Yes.
That has all their dairy products, their ice cream, their cheese,
Yes.
their butter,
Yes.
all kinds of goodies. I think
All
they've
the
got like
stuff.
some local eggs and other things in there too.
Sometimes, yeah.
So yeah, it's kind of a self-serve style. So you bring your money and pop it in there and take your items and
Right.
I think is that 8 to 8 every
I think
day?
it's 8 to 8 every day. Yeah, you just go in, grab your stuff, write down on a paper. They have
Oh yeah,
log
your
your purchase, and you
Uh-huh.
put that in with your money, or you can Venmo as well.
Oh.
So yeah.
Interesting.
I've used Venmo sometime where I'm like, I don't have enough cash. I'm getting more than I
Right?
when I came
all
here
of a
for.
sudden those cheese curds look pretty
Yeah,
good.
yes.
Add to cart.
Yes, yes.
Nice.
And yeah, it is nice that it's open 8 to 8 as well.
Yeah.
So you kind of have a lot of time during the day to find it
Yeah.
and grab your goodies. So Kat, should we turn to that time we call mailbag questions?
Cue that music.
Mailbag time.
All right. Well, today's mailbag question is courtesy of the Saunders County Community Board on Facebook. There has been some questions about the annual Wahoo citywide garage sales, and we just wanted to share about how you can find those deals when it's garage sale time.
Yes. And I think people really look forward to this weekend of garage sales. I know there was some talk on the community board because they felt like it was like a different weekend than it usually is, and I think what it is just the calendar is
there's like 5 weekends in June.
Yes, so that's why but it is going to be June 27th through the 29th. And we're doing a whole new thing incorporating the app.
Oh, yes.
So we will be collecting, and we should have this out by the beginning of next week. Start looking for it. We'll put it on the community board. We'll put it on our website, on Facebook, all those things. Jen will put out an email on how to do this. But basically, if you are hosting a garage sale, you can fill out a very easy, quick form. Take you like 5 minutes tops.
This is like an online form. You click a link. Fill out this online form.
Yes. And you will then be added to a map that will live on the app. We'll have a section under events. It'll say citywide garage sales. You'll click that, and then there'll be a map. It's a Google map that will come up, and it'll be pinned.
It's kind of interactive.
Yeah. So when you click on a pin, it'll actually you'll actually be able to put in more details. So if you're having all sorts of items, you can list all those kind of items you'd like to put on there. If you're, you can even put in your hours that you're going to be open, because sometimes people may not be open the whole weekend. They might only be one day, or they're out, they only are going to be open in the morning, or, so you can kind of add that detail to it. And then the pins will be color coded, because we will have you be able to choose one category that's maybe your
you're like, man, I gotta get rid of these baby clothes.
Yes. So you can put baby clothes, and so when people are looking, they're like, hey, I'm looking for baby clothes or baby items.
Here's the pins that are that color.
Yes.
Okay.
And so I know that I want to hit those houses first, maybe get those baby clothes, or whatever your top is.
Nice.
Yeah.
Man, technology.
I know.
And I just love that we can use the app for that.
I know.
So it's like, you could just find everything on there.
Yeah. And then when you're going around, you might pre-plan some things, but you can have that on your phone. So when you're at some place, you can get in your car, look and see where you want to go next.
Right. Or what's around there. If there's a couple more in that same neighborhood.
Right. You'll be able to know.
Smart.
So I'm excited about that.
That's great news.
Yeah. And we should have that live, like the actual map live like the week prior. So you can start kind of pre-planning.
People have time to kind of find this link, add their information, and then a week or so prior we'll post about that being live, so you can route your
And like I said, this information form will kind of go out next week, and you'll have until like June 16th to add your info to it. So you'll have plenty of time to do it.
Nice.
Yeah.
Smart. I love that.
Yeah. And then we're also going to no one asked about this, but gonna throw it in there because it is a garage sale type thing with the app. We are going to have a little garage sale scavenger hunt. So you can take photos.
Nice.
Maybe we'll put on there find a lamp, find records, just random things. And we won't have, I think we'll have like a good amount, and you don't have to, we won't make you do all of that, but maybe get at least 5, 10, type, and then you can run over to the chamber office, and they'll have a little goodie box for prize. Yeah. And I thought this might be fun for the kids, because I feel like you take your kids garage selling, and it's like sometimes they might be having fun, and sometimes they might be like, but if they have something fun to do, okay, I gotta find a
crazy
lamp,
colored shirt.
Yes.
Yeah. Take a picture of it.
Take a picture of it. So we're kind of excited to just make it a little fun
Yeah.
event for the weekend
Absolutely.
too.
I just remember when we did that Find the Grinch at Christmas time and Christmas in
Yes.
Wahoo. It was just so much fun to see people out. We saw them in our building too, people out doing selfies with these little Grinch pictures that
Yes.
we had around town. So
Well, and I thought about printing something like that and then putting them out at those garage sales. But I was like, I don't know if people would be, they'd be like, what are you putting in my house? And stuff. And I thought this actually might be more fun to be able to hunt for things.
Oh yeah, and it could even be something that makes noise.
Oh, yes. Yes.
Where it could be like, oh, is it an alarm clock? Is it
Right.
Yeah,
Right.
a drum set?
Yes. Something that takes batteries. Yeah. Like
Ooh,
just,
yeah.
a
Just
little
fun.
bit. Yeah. Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Because I did love that Grinch too. Like it was fun to see everyone's photos for that.
Yes. Keep an eye on social media.
Yes.
And your email blast from Jen.
Yes.
If you weren't taking notes during this podcast, you can get the info there.
Right. And we are planning to have where we'll send out to businesses, chamber businesses, to have a printout if they want to just print something out.
Okay.
A very simple flyer that will have
have
a
the info.
QR code on it so that, so then if someone's at your business and they're like, oh, I am hosting a garage sale, they can just click the QR code
And it'll snap it right to the form.
and
be included.
they could probably fill it out while they're waiting at the dentist. Like it's not going to take very long. So
Perfect.
Yeah.
Man, technology.
I know.
I just love that, that you're leaning into that and have all these cool ideas and ways to keep connected.
I guess ways to open that Wahoo, the We Are Wahoo app.
Yes. Yes.
Well, awesome.
We covered a lot of ground.
Yeah, we have a lot happening where it's like, spring happens and it's let's go.
Right? Ready, set, go.
Yes.
Oh, you know what we didn't even talk about?
What?
Fireworks Fridays.
Yes.
We talked about one holiday, but you're going to flip the calendar.
Oh, I know.
And it's going to be June.
It is.
Which is Fireworks Fridays.
Yes.
Did you guys talk about that at the meeting?
We definitely did. We actually had a little committee meeting right after the board meeting yesterday.
Uh-huh.
We're going to be doing similar to what we did last year. Katie at Rivalry is going to be making a new design for a shirt.
Ooh.
And we're hoping we can get that out, soon so that people can order shirts.
Uh-huh.
And then starting in June, I think the first Friday in June is June 7th, I believe. And you're able to just start wearing your Fireworks Friday shirt. And this is a little fundraiser basically for fireworks. So if you did not know, our fireworks are just community funded. And a lot of times, or most of the time, the chamber has
footed the bill.
Yeah.
The funds have been short there a few years.
Yes. And I think most of the time it's really because people didn't know that.
Right. It was just like an awareness thing. Like,
Yes.
they just thought it came from somewhere.
Right. And last year we definitely ramped up the education of that and the donations poured in.
Yeah.
So we already have 2 businesses that were sponsors last year and they will be on the shirts. They've already sent in their money for their sponsorship.
Oh, nice.
They did that actually when they signed up to be a chamber member again this year. They were just like, in here
We
is
loved
for our
being a fireworks sponsor last year. Like, sign us up already.
Yes.
Nice.
And so we will also have those signs out again. They're yard signs so that you can donate. We're going to be putting a little campaign on Facebook. So if you're just, if you're at home sitting there like, oh yeah, I've seen those signs around. I just haven't done anything.
Right.
Click and you're able to donate that way. We, again, will be sharing once we get those live on the Rivalry site. We'll be sharing those t-shirts.
Oh, perfect.
But yeah, Fireworks Fridays, wear your shirt. You can even wear the one that you have last year too.
Yeah.
That one's a fun design.
Yeah, I got 2 last year, but yeah, I'll probably.
Oh, there you go.
I'm sure we'll get another one.
Yes. So so be looking for that as well.
Lots of information
it basically,
coming
garage sales and 4th of July and
some events on the horizon. So
right.
Lots of things to watch Facebook in your email for.
Yes.
Awesome. Well, it was so good to catch up. I love
Yes.
kind of being in the know now that I'm not going to the board meetings
I
anymore.
know.
It's really fun to hear what's going on.
What's going on? I know. And I feel like I am like truly like telling you like what we're
Right? Yes.
what we're doing.
No, this has been great.
Well, as always, thanks for listening.
And don't forget to keep it local, friends.
This has been a Chamber Chat
With Kate.
and Kat.
See you next time.
Let's just do a little test. Go ahead and say something.
Test. Sorry, I'm just getting distracted by my phone.
Oh, no, you're fine. Nope, we're good.
Testing 1, 2.